Good morning to one and all. The joint family system and the dignity for elders was synonymous in the past. With the gradual withering of the joint family system, elderly parents are now exposed to innumerable problems including negligence and torture by their family members. Hello and welcome to the group discussion going to be conducted by 9th standard students of Kendriya Vidyalaya NDPC Ramagunam as a part of FA2 activity. In this, we will try to discuss the causes for negligence of elderly parents and the solution to tackle with this inhuman practice.
Please, my dear friends, pay attention to what I am going to say. I know that all of us are very touched with the scene that we saw in the old age home when we went there to conduct a survey and collect data for our project work. Well, the question arises, why has caring for the old become such a burning topic? As we all know, old age is referred as a second childhood. And in this age, our grandparents fear the most being forgotten. So, the simplest way of taking care of them is by spending a lot of time with them. We should always let them know how much we love them and how much we are concerned of them. Friends, I request you to put forth your ideas and help me in coming to a solution to this problem. And please, let's begin it quickly as we have only 15 minutes.
Well, number one, I can advise you for something. I think you all have heard a proverb. It is said, no one can stem the tide of youth, for old age comes to everyone. It's a global phenomenon. The aspect of being elderly carries a greater significance in the light of the fact that families nowadays want to be nuclear and they want to stay their own way. Hence, it is not only a private concern, but also a public one. The elders are precious people. They are grandparents or parents of someone that cares a great deal for them. Caring for elders is always a challenge if you don't know how to look after them.
Yes, number 2. I totally agree with you. It is the responsibility of the child to take care of the parents in one way or another. And it might just be something as letting them know we are there when they need us. However, the real problem with elderly parent care is that we look at it as a burden. Some might say, come on people, why put such burden on these children from this person? But is it burden to care for the person whom how with the age of God has given us life? Come on guys, who do you think took care of you when you were not able to walk? Get real.
Friends, parents take care of the children. Then why can't they take care of their parents in the time of need? I agree that people have their own life to consider, but supporting their parents is also a common responsibility to do wholeheartedly. In the traditional Indian family system, it is commanded immense respect. If ailing, they were given care of newborn. The father was a decision maker and mother was a homemaker. But with the advent of nuclear family system, saw the turning of the tables.
You're absolutely right, Napo, that when our parents were young and needed someone to hold their hands, our grandparents were only young. It is true that our mothers have turned to our grandmothers when she was carrying us. It is correct that our grandparents have taken care of us for so many months and our mothers were resting. It is said that grandparents are a symbol of wisdom. They enlighten us by their knowledge and acquire us by their great life experiences.
But number 5, what's the use of them when they don't care about their elderly parents after growing up? They put them in an old age home. An old age home is like a prison for elderly people. They are not happy there. They are not free there. They have to follow strict rules set up by old age home. They will be missing their family, children and grandchildren. Everyone will be anxiously waiting for their children to come back and take them home. Some will even lose their home.
And do you know number 6? The children who put their parents in the old age home forget that it was these two old souls who were always with them when the whole world was against them. They forget that these two people offered them the hand of life when they weren't even able to walk. They do not remember that they are a live example for their own children. And when they make their parents feel cursed by sending them to the old age home, they can expect nothing but the same from their own children. And at that time, they will have no one else to blame but themselves.
Old children do not do the work on their own. So it is a duty help them with lots of love and patience. Approaching them to old age home is always a bad option or a bad opinion. Many children think that elders are a burden for them. Many children fail to understand the love behind them. They do not produce the they produce the lack of love in the correct way. So being loved and lovable is a lovely thing. Hence, we must be loved towards our lovable ones.
Don't you think our parents feel the same when they are older and aching knowing that we are there for them? Age and time waits for us, and we will be going through this in our lives as it approaches us all. Will our children be with us? How are we setting an example if we are not with our parents? I know, we all say that we don't want to be burdened to our kids. But let's face it, just knowing that they are there, it would mean the world to me. Making right decisions for me would mean I set a good example. I don't think there is anything worse than having regrets of not doing some of the simplest things in this world for our parents and their elderly years. There is nothing worse than having guilt for the rest of our life when we had a choice, a chance to do the right thing. Not to mention, it gives me a great deal of satisfaction with the feeling of love and warmth to see the smile on their faces knowing I made their time a pleasant one in this earth.
Yes, today the elder people of their family are not only increasing but also thrown out their homes. Instant increase when their own children send them to old age homes and never come back to see again. Senior citizens are denied of the financial support by their wards. This phenomenon is an offshoot of the materialistic culture. Family values were kept in the back burner and given more importance to the individuality and personal space.
I agree with you, number 4, that for all the sufferings, pains and sorrows our grandparents have taken to care their children and educate them and to bring them up, nothing valuable can be equally balanced. And as a fact, I would like to say that nowadays in the society, more and more old age homes are being built than any other institutions, which is not too good.
But there are families where elderly people live with their children and very few are happy. In most of the cases, elderly are ignored. They and their needs are felt as burdened by the family. As they are old, they often feel ill. The cost of the medicine and the cost of the hospital are felt as extra expenditure by the family, even though they earn a lot. Elderly people just need love, affection, and proper care towards them, which many cannot give them.
I totally agree with number 6. Friends, I request you to take the honor carried for the old. But I'm sure it's not going to cost you much. After all, what these old people need is just love and care. We should always encourage them to share their views and ideas with us. It also makes them feel as if their experiences are making their grandchildren smarter. We should keep on asking for their help and advice, even if we don't need it. We should try to succeed in the areas in which our grandparents couldn't when they were of our age. We should discuss with them about some of the old family photographs and the time they had spent with their own children.
Caring for old is always challenging, and the older the person is, the more challenging it becomes. Sickness and ailment is something which follows them, and inevitably there are crises which arise suddenly. Elders don't always add the problem to the young one for fear of getting hurt. So learning to anticipate and doing things before they ask is greatly appreciated and very important. For example, you can give them a hot water bath or massaging his or her aching parts. Talking to them, cajoling them and making them feel that they need it is very important. They must be humored and abuse are to be considered in order to make them feel that they are needed in the family. So, while dealing with elderly person, we must take care of 4 things. That we must be calm, with compassion, patience, and with great love.
Yes, Nambati, I totally agree with you. To the extent possible, we have to talk with our parents gently and honestly about their wishes, their abilities, and their options. Share your own feelings and reassure the parent that you will support them and help them solve their problems. Help the parent to retain whatever control is possible in making his or her own decisions and try to respect and honor their wishes, whatever feasible. Encourage the smallest change possible at each step so that the parent is able to adjust to the change.
Well, Namati, I think every story told by our parents and grandparents and every experience they told us would be very helpful in our life. For this, in our life. For this.